example, so think about the food we eat and the food we give our children is profoundly damaging our ability to pay attention. There were so many of these factors that until I did the research, I hadn't really ever thought about. So there's this huge new movement called nutritional psychiatry, of psychiatrists who are studying how the ways we eat affect our ability to think and use our brains fully. And so I interviewed lots of these nutritional psychiatrists and others, and they've discovered 3 key ways in which the way we currently eat, which is not what we chose, the food industry did this to us to a large degree, is profoundly damaging our focus and attention. So the first way is, imagine you grow up, you have in the morning the standard American or British breakfast. You have a sugary cereal or you have white bread with butter, right? What that does is it releases a huge amount of energy really quickly into your brain, releases a huge amount of glucose. And at first it feels great. You're like, the day's begun, I'm awake, right? But what happens is you get to your desk or your child gets to their school desk a few hours later, and you will experience a very severe energy crash. You'll just sit there, and what you then get when your energy crashes is brain fog. Brain fog is where you just can't focus very well until you have another sugary carby treat. So the way we eat puts us on a roller coaster of energy spikes and energy crashes throughout the day, which gives us long patches of brain fog. The way Dale Pinnock, one of Britain's leading nutritionists, put it to me is it's like we're putting rocket fuel into a Mini. Right? Think about that with your kids, right? The Mini will go really quickly and then it'll just stop, right? And so you can see how this is happening to us. Whereas if you eat food that releases energy more steadily, like say oatmeal in the morning, you won't experience patches of brain fog in the same way. You'll be much more likely to be able to pay a steadier form of attention. Or think about the second way. Your brain needs certain nutrients in order to develop and operate fully. And the diet we eat currently deprives many of us of the nutrients that we need. A famous example is omega-3s, which we get in fresh fish, which we lack in our diets. And it turns out supplements just don't cut it. Your body doesn't absorb nutrients from supplements in the same way it absorbs it from food. The third way is, to me, the most disturbing. It's not just that our food, the diet we eat in the moment currently lacks things we need for our brains to operate. Our diet also contains chemicals that act on our bodies like drugs. So like drugs, so that, yeah.
I mean, it's like the food coloring and preservatives, right? Like when my family and I went to Ireland at the airport in Dublin, we said, here, use these last few euros. They went and bought some Starburst candies. They came back and the candies were pale. They were like, the lemon was just a white cube. And like the colors, like we were like, wow, this is really interesting. And it's because in the European Union, they ban these food dyes that here in the United States, they're fine with us having, right? Is that one of the factors?
Exactly. And we banned it in the European Union. I say we, Britain is no longer part of the European Union, sadly. In the European Union banned it precisely because of an experiment that showed the effect on children's attention. So there was a big experiment in a British city called Southampton in 2007. So what they did is they got 297 kids and they split them into 2 groups. And the first group was just given water to drink. And the second group was given water laced with loads of the food dyes that appear in all kinds of food you get at the supermarket, candies, all kind of things. And then they monitored the kids. And the kids who consumed the food dyes were significantly more likely to become manic, to become hyperactive, to not be able to pay attention, which is why in the European Union, they then banned all these food dyes. But in the US, they have not been banned, right? I'm sure that's one reason why there's a big gap between European and American rates of ADHD in children. So you can see how these factors that we don't think of as related to attention. I never thought about food as, why would my ability to pay attention be related to what I ate that day?
Catch new episodes of the Mindful Mama podcast and other free resources, including the Mindful Mom Guide at mindfulmamamentor.com. You can listen to every back catalog episode, including interviews with Dr. Dan Siegel, Iyanla Vanzant, Sharon Salzberg, and get meditations, join our private Facebook group, and more. Go to mindfulmamamentor.com now. I'll see you there.